Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Football Fired Up. We're bringing to you Gameweek 15, where myself and Peter will be reviewing all 10 games that have happened over the last 2 days. We'll be trying to do this in a super quick time, as we know that Gameweek 16 is just around the corner. So look out for another episode of A Tip to Succeed for your FPL tips, as well as our predictions for next week. So the first game, it was Leicester 2, Manchester United 2. Manchester United had the chance to leapfrog Leicester, I think it is, but unfortunately they weren't clinical enough in front of goals. In front of the goal, Rashford did miss a couple of chances. What I will say is that Leicester, showed a lot of character battling back from having gone a goal down on two separate occasions. Unfortunate for Twanzebe, but he couldn't get out of Vardy's shot. So the next game, Aston Villa 3, Crystal Palace 0, and all I can say is Crystal Palace looked dejected here. They had 11 men against 10 for a whole half, and they didn't look like they could score even if they played another 90 minutes. Aston Villa, wow. Dean Smith, what a performance. I'm absolutely delighted for the Villains. I couldn't believe that performance. Fantastic from the whole team. If you could just watch that game again, every single player battled. My standout player personally was Matt Targett. So if you looked at any attacks that happened down that left-hand side, Matt Targett seemed to win every single ball. He just wouldn't give a sniff. I think they replaced Schlupp and they brought Townsend on, and again, that didn't work. So that's that game. Fulham versus Southampton. This was a boring 0-0 draw. I know Southampton had a couple of goals disallowed and they hit the woodwork, but yeah, I predicted a Fulham victory. I thought they were going to snatch something. They've defensively gone a lot harder to score against, so fair play to them, fair play to Scott Parker. They're on the right track. Manchester City 2, Newcastle United 0. So just a comprehensive victory. Newcastle were quite toothless without Callum Wilson. Manchester City, questions I think were going to be asked about, can they score more goals? I think what you saw at the end was Sergio Aguero coming on, and although he didn't score, you could see he made the keeper work, and he just got into that sort of position. So if Aguero is back, that's going to look dangerous for them. So West Ham United 2, Brighton 2. Again, this was a very, very good game to watch. Brighton very pleasing on the eye. First half were dominant, but I think Adam Lallana going off, they lost a bit of control in that second half. You saw that West Ham came back into it, equalised. Brighton then, had a second set of sail for them, and they decided to attack once more. Got a little bit lucky, but I think the finish from Dunk is actually incredible. I would say 9 out of 10 players would miss that chance. It's very, very difficult the way he's arrowed it into the top corner. Potentially this is the time to put in Lewis Dunk if you're an FPL manager. But Souček did pretty much the exact same, and crash and a header to get West Ham the point, and out of a little rut. Liverpool 1, West Bromwich Albion 1. So this was definitely the shock result of the weekend. I don't really know what to say. Liverpool controlled most of that game, but Big Sam, he had his plan, and he implemented it quite well. And if you actually watch the game, they broke with speed quite a few times. Grant and I can't remember who else was the supporting cast. I know Charlie Austin came on, but every time they got the ball, they looked up and they pinged balls down the channel, and I think that'll be what West Brom get up to for the rest of the season. Wolves 1, Spurs 1. Really, really dire game to watch if you're a Spurs fan, and I think this is why United got frustrated with Mourinho. If you're picking up the results, it's all great, but when you see results like this, and it didn't look like Spurs were going to score again. They scored really, really early, and they just dropped off. It was hard to watch. Wolves, on the other hand, they got another goal without Raul Jimenez. This patch where they are struggling, it's tough, but it's going to happen. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Fabio Silva will learn from his misses and his mistakes. He had a glorious chance to take all 3 points and be the big man, but it wasn't meant to be. But you learn and you move on. And that is all the results that I'm going to talk about. I'm now going to let Peter speak about the other results.
Arsenal 3, Chelsea 1. What can I say about this game? As I mentioned from the preview, I knew that this was one of the London derbies where Chelsea were not going to turn up and Arsenal were going to get something out of the game. And it all started with the first 5 minutes when they were already all over us. And although we were a bit unlucky with the free kick with Mason Mount, I thought that penalty call was soft. Call me biased, but there was barely any contact. There was contact, but just barely any contact. It was such a soft call. But the ref gave it a penalty, and then boom, 1-0 already. And then Kante giving away that stupid foul on El Neni, and that free kick just made it 2-0. And then I was absolutely fuming because the first half we didn't do anything. 0 shots on target. And rightfully so, in the second half, Frank made 2 changes with Hudson-Odoi coming on. He looked lively, but unfortunately, Saka scored some freakish goal that killed the game. And then after that, like, Arsenal looked like they wanted to score more goals, and luckily Mendy just kept it as 3-0. And then we pulled a goal back with Tammy with his chest, and then we had a penalty. And that stupid Jorginho run up. Can he stop doing that? Like, it's been found out. I never liked it. It was one of those where it just gets on my nerves if he misses. Fair enough, he does score a load of goals, but every time he misses, it just gets on my nerves, because what happened to the normal penalty run up? Just aim for your target, just run up like any other normal penalty taker, and then hit it with power and in the net. But Jorginho's penalty run-up, it's getting on my nerves. It always has been, and it always will be. And, even with 3-2, maybe it was a bit too late to grab like an equaliser, but it was such a disappointing game. Was absolutely fuming with the result. And hooray, Villa tomorrow. Sheffield United 0, Everton 1. And I thought this was a dull game. With the first half, with no surprise, Everton were dominant, and they missed a few chances with Iwobi, Calvert-Lewin and Sigurdsson. They should have scored. Ramsdale made a goalkeeping error as well, which could have easily led to a goal as well. Sheffield United, the only chance I could recall was Ollie Burke when he did well, and his shot just went wide of the goal just before the final whistle. Second half was almost the same, when both sides didn't really look like they were scoring. And then in the 80th minute, Everton finally found a breakthrough with Bernard setting up Decore with perfect vision setting up Sigurdsson, and Sigurdsson with a fantastic finish, which was a good goal. With 10 minutes to go, and Sheffield United, they looked to get the equaliser with Ollie McBurney just hitting wide of the goal. And that was pretty much it. Apart from that, Andre Gomez protesting that he should have got a penalty. Again, I didn't think it was a penalty myself. But Everton, they would be relieved that they got 3 points out of this game. With Sheffield United still struggling, they need to find a way to start winning games now. Leeds 1, Burnley 0. Personally, I did enjoy this game because it was good end-to-end stuff, I thought. It started off with Nick Pope doing a stupid challenge on Patrick Bamford. I mean, what was he thinking? I mean, you can't just lunge at players like that because it was always going to be a penalty, and rightfully so. And Bamford, with full of confidence, just tucked that penalty in, bam, 1-0 Leeds. And Burnley, I thought this was a very harsh call. They had a free kick, and Meslier just ran at Ben Mee, with Ben Mee facing the other way, just keeping his eye on the ball. And the referee called it a foul, and then they just disallowed the goal. I thought this was really harsh because Ben Mee didn't see Meslier coming in at all. So I thought that was really harsh. But after that, both teams wanted to score. Burnley wanted to equalise. Leeds wanted to double the lead. I thought Rafinha was a quality player. I mean, he's absolutely skillful, fast, and he's going to do well at Leeds for the whole of the season. So in the second half, Leeds looked like they wanted to score, but I thought Nick Pope kept Burnley in, and Burnley were just wasteful. I mean, especially with Jay Rodriguez coming on. Yeah, they were very wasteful, but I thought 1-1 would have been a fair result, but Leeds got the 3 points in the end, and then...
So I'd just like to thank everybody for watching. I know this was a very, very quick one. We've got another game week coming up, so if you are an FPL manager, don't forget you've got until 1:30 to do your team. Until then, take care, stay safe, and best of luck.